My YouTube channel. This reflex image, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create a manipulation like this using a picture like this. So this picture was actually taken with Canon 60D, 3 light setup, a Godos AD200 Pro, that's the major light, and two TT520 flash. So I'm using two beauty dish, and also I use my TT520 flash as a gel light. Also I added a yellow nylon at the top since I don't have a gel light at hand, so I improvised by using a yellow nylon and I put it at the top. So it actually gave me this gelish look I have on the skin over here, which looks very nice. So I'll be showing you how I did the editing. Actually, we use a body oil on us so that our skin will look glossy. Our skin is going to shine so that the light is going to reflect on it. So you guys can also try using body oil for your client or model some other time. It comes in handy. If you try it once or twice, you will know what I'm talking about. So let's jump into action. If you're yet to join my Telegram group, kindly do so now, because I've actually dropped the file I use. I've dropped this overlay and some of my PNG files there also for free for anybody that is interested in me to download there. So if you're here to join, kindly go there now, click on the link in the description below and join us today. So with no further ado, let's jump into action. So the first step I want to do is to crop our image size. So to crop our image size, you all know the size I love using is my 4x5. So I'll just pick my crop tool over here, click on it. As you can see, automatically it's on 4x5 also. But the issue I'm having right now, once I just change to 4x5, it's actually cropping out some areas for me, especially this leg over here, and I want all those areas to be there. So what I'll just do, I'll just zoom out, then I'm going to extend from the side until I get all the details I need. So I'll adjust it till I see fit, then I'll click on my OK. So you guys will be wondering, what about this whitish look over here? How are we going to get rid of it? It's very easy and straightforward. To do just that, just have to come to your polygonal, your rectangle marker tool over here. Once you click on it, make sure it's on addition and make sure the feather is on 0. So you are going to scroll over the area you want to apply that was, which is this side. Then once you're done with that, just click on Ctrl T for free transform, Ctrl T, hold down your shift key, then extend. As you can see, if you are not holding down your shift key, you are not going to get what you need, except you are using a lower version of Photoshop like CC17 below. So you can actually drag that without holding down your shift key. But if you're using like CC19 and above, I think you have to hold down your shift key to do that. So once you're done with the selection, make sure you remove your hand on the mouse before you remove your hand on the shift key. As you can see right now, once you're done, just click on your enter key, then Ctrl D to deselect. Repeat the same step on the left hand side also. As you can see, Ctrl T for free transform, hold down the shift key, then extend, then click on your OK, Ctrl D to deselect. As you can see right now, we've actually achieved something nice so far, but we still have the same issue at the bottom over here. So we are going to do the same thing also over here again. You're going to drag it over here. Whatever you're doing, make sure it's not touching any part of your model. You can actually touch the outfits, this thing she's sitting on, but make sure it's not touching your model. So I'll just hold down my Ctrl T, hold down the shift key, then drag down, then I click on my OK, Ctrl D to deselect. So far so good. We actually extended our background, very easy and straightforward. If you have a smoother background, you can just color grade the picture and export it after your retouching. So that's the first step, is the background extension. The second step, I'll advise you guys, before you start any manipulation, make sure you retouch your picture before you start any manipulation. It comes in handy because once you're just done with the manipulation, all you just need to do is just to color grade and export your picture. But after you just do the manipulation, you are going back to your retouching. It won't be that nice, it won't be fresh at all. But I won't be showing you how I do my retouching in this video. I'm only doing the manipulation all through. So I'll be skipping the first step, going to the second step. If you need the raw materials to practice with, they are down in the description. Go and get them there. And if you're also interested in getting all my picture editing files, they are all available for sale at very cheaper rates, and they comes in handy. So the next step now is for we to remove our model from the background. So I'll be doing that in my document here, because I'll actually retouch the picture over here. So I'll be deleting all the layers I've worked on so far. I'm going to delete it so that we can start afresh. So the next thing for us to do now is to remove our model from the background. So how are we going to do that? Firstly, as you can see, we are back to our background layer right there. So the next thing you just need to do is just to click on our Ctrl J to duplicate it. Then we're going to click on our quick selection tool. Here's the quick selection over here. Once you click on it, if you're using Photoshop CC90 above, you should be able to have this option over here, this select subject. Once you click on it, just wait for it to load up. The quick selection does most of the job. Sometimes it might crop it perfectly for you, sometimes you just have to make few amendments yourself. As you can see over here, it did some of the job for us, but we have to make the amendments ourselves and balance up the cropping. So this time around we are done with the quick selection. Next thing I will be doing right now, I can still continue with this quick selection. Okay, I'll make sure this is an addition, right? I'll just increase my brush size, close bracket to increase the brush size, as you can see. So I just have to drag over the area I want to add to my selection, and it's going to do the selection for me, as you can see right now. So I'm going to add over it, and it's going to add to my selection. And if I want to remove from selection, I just have to change it to subtraction over here, and it's going to do the job for me. So as you can see, here should be on subtraction. So let me just change to subtraction, click on it, reduce my brush size, then scroll over it, as you can see. So we're actually getting something nice over here. So let's zoom in, let's see if we have any error again. Here we are going to add to our selection. Make sure we click on our addition. So I'm going to scroll over it. I'll scroll over it until it gives us the perfect selection. So I'm still going to look around if I will still see any error. As you can see, the quick selection make our cropping very easy. So this time around now, I'll change it to subtraction because I want to remove from this selection over here. So I'll just have to scroll over it. Okay, it did a perfect job, but no other perfect. So let me change it back to addition and scroll over the area, as you can see. So it's giving us something nice, and it's very fast for cropping. So but it's not going to do all the job for me. So I want to crop out this area myself, so I'm going to leave the quick selection and pick another tool which I can use for cropping, which is the best tool I use apart from my pen tool, which is my polygonal lasso tool, which I have over here. Once I click on it, I'll make sure this selection here is on subtraction, this addition, this subtraction. I'll make sure I'm clicking on my subtraction. Now I'll zoom in, make sure your feather is at 0%. So I'll just have to scroll over here, as you can see, scroll over here, just to make sure I get this selection right. So I'm going to do that the same thing over here again. I'm going to scroll over here, as you can see. I'm going to scroll over here. As you can see right now, we're actually getting something nice. So the hair is perfectly cropped. We can just add to the hair selection, go back to your quick selection just to make it faster. As you can see, let's add to our hair selection. So we're getting something nice so far. Okay, getting something nice. You're getting something nice. Just make sure you take your time. Don't depend on the quick selection to crop out the picture every time. It doesn't give the perfect result most of the time, except if your picture are having sharp edges, so it's going to give you a very nice result. So try using the polygonal lasso tool. Best use the pen tool to crop out your picture perfectly. So we're almost done with our selection. Polygonal lasso tool, subtraction, as you can see. Okay, we're done with our selection now. The next thing we just have to do is for we to mask our selection. So instead of we to delete our background from the picture, so I prefer maxing it. In case I want to make any adjustment, I can easily just go and bring back the area I want or delete the area I don't want again. So I'm going to click on my max. This is my max tool over here. Click on it. As you can see, you won't know the effects now because we already have two layers. The down layer has the background while the top layer does not have the background. So I'm to turn off the down layer right now. As you can see, we have our model without the background. So I'm to turn that back on right now, as you can see. So that's the next step. That's the second step. So the next step now is for we to remove blemishes from the background. So in case you're interested in getting any of my picture editing file, from my overlays down to my color lookup, which is my LUT file, so you just have to scroll down to your video. So under the comment, this is my description. So it's not going to load the description for you. You just have to click on show more, click on it. So it's going to show all the options. Once it does that, just click on my store link. So here's my store link. Once you click on it, it's going to take you directly to my store. So you can actually select any file you want. From the color lookup, this is a light skin LUTs. This is a feather which I use in my recent video. This is 100 premium baby overlays. This is my first video course. This video course entails on how to download all the files I want. The site I use in downloading all my files free of charge, including my Photoshop panels also. This includes my PNG files. This includes all my packs, all my picture editing files, my premium overlay, my PNG, my flying fabrics, my color lookup, my presets. So once you buy this, you've already bought everything apart from this one. So here is my flying fabrics. Here is my, in case you want to give me any project for me to work on. Here's my color lookup. Here is my background overlay, and here is my presets file. So in case you're interested in buying any one, you can actually go for them. The good news there is that you can actually buy your own currency, any currency of your choice. You can buy with any currency of your choice. So yeah, which is here. We're going to duplicate it by clicking on Ctrl J. But the issue we'll be facing right there now is that, you know, assuming it's a plain background, we can actually just smoothen everything all together, but we have two separate backgrounds here. This color is different for this, so we have to separate the both colors before we can do anything. But firstly, let's delete our model from the background this time around. So for we to do that, hold down our Ctrl key, click on our marks. It's going to bring back the selection for us. Then we'll go to select. Under select, you click on modify, then we expand by 8 pixels. Once we're done with that, you just have to click on our OK. Then we hit our delete key, click on it. I might not know what you just did now, but you have to turn off the upper and the lower layer. You will see you've actually deleted our model from the backdrop. So the first step is we delete the backdrop from the model. The next step is to delete the model from the backdrop, as you can see. So we are going to deselect the selection by clicking on Ctrl D. So we can now turn on all the layer back now. So the next thing we'll be doing now, we want to separate this background. I'll blow out this separately, and I'll blow out this separately. So if I want to do that now, I'll pick my polygonal axle tool. Since what I want to crop out is on a straight line, so I'll pick my polygonal axle tool. Then I'm going to trim over the area I want to crop out. I'll trim over it this way, as you can see, just to make sure I crop it out perfectly, like you can see right now. So I'm going to duplicate it by clicking on Ctrl J, and also I'll click on Ctrl J once more on that particular layer I just cropped out, which is just this, as you can see right now. The reason why I click on Ctrl J twice is that if I'm to blow, just to click on Ctrl J once and I'm to blow this out now, it's going to spread out to the other background, and that's not what I want. So after blowing it out now, I'll clip it on the lower layer which I duplicated twice. So let's do that and see what I'm talking about. So I'll just have to go to my filter. Under filter, I'll go to blur. Then I'll click on my Gaussian blur. Then I'll increase it to whatever radius I want it to be. So if I'm to increase it, as you can see right now, if I'm to zoom in right now, you will see it's affecting our below background. So let me turn this on now. Click on my OK. Let me turn it on. As you can see, it's affecting the entire backdrop. So let me just right click on it and create a clipping mask. As you can see, it's going to straighten the line for us perfectly. So the next thing we'll be doing right now is to do the same step to the background, to this yellow background also. So for me to do that right now, I'll still go back here again. So this time around, I'll be deleting this from the yellow background I have over here. So for me to do that, this for me to start making the selection back again, I'll just hit on my Ctrl key. I'll hit on my Ctrl key, then I'll click on the layer. So for me to do that now, I'll just have to go to my select. Under select, I'll click on modify, then I'll expand by 8 pixels once again. Then I'll click on my OK. Then I'm going to delete it. Ctrl D to deselect. As you can see, we really have this backdrop here. We've separated the both backdrop, so we are going to blur them out separately. So you can actually duplicate this one also twice, but we don't need that right now because we already have this at the top, so it's not going to affect the entire document again. So you just have to go to our blur, under blur, Gaussian blur, then we'll use whatever radius we want. I think this is okay for me. Then I just have to click on my OK. Wait for it to load up. So the next thing I'll do, I'll turn back on all the backgrounds I just created. As you can see right now, we've actually blurred out our background perfectly. which is quite smooth right now. So you can just decide to export your picture this way after doing the color grading, but the reason why we're doing this picture is that we just want to do a special manipulation. So now we can now start with our manipulation now by bringing in the file we'll be adding. So firstly, for we to do any manipulation, you have to click on the layer directly below our model layer. If you have to click any layer that's not directly below it, it's not going to bring out what you need for you. So once you just click on it, you just have to go to your file manager where your files are located. So I will search for where my files are. So the file I want to use, if you don't have it here, you can just go to my Telegram group and download it there. So this is the newspaper I'll be making use of right now. Just have to drag it down to my Photoshop. I'll drag it down, wait for it to load up. Then I will expand it to whatever size I want it to be. I will expand it. Then I'll click on my OK. As you can see right now, if it's not okay, I'll just have to readjust it to whatever place I want it to be. Then I'll click on OK. You can actually leave it like this, but it is too flashy, so our model skin is not actually popping out. So that's why we do change our blend mode from normal, we change it to soft light. So you just have to come down here, change the blend mode from normal, change it to soft light. Boom. So it's going to bring the initial backdrop which you actually blend, and also it's going to retain the backdrop you just bring in. So the both will be working hand in hand, they will be showing at the same time together. So but it's not giving me what I need totally, so let me use my hue and saturation to bring that up a little bit. So I'm going to click on the layer directly below this image I just brought in now, which is my newspaper backdrop. So I'm just going to click on it, then I'll click on my adjustment layer. I'll then click on my hue and saturation. Under my master, I'm just going to bring down the lightness a little bit, as you can see. So it's going to bring the amounts, the radius I use is going to determine how it's going to reflect. If I'm to bring it all the way down, as you can see right now, it's going to make the newspaper pop, but I want the initial backdrop to be reflecting there, as you can see right now. So it's okay around this way. So the next thing I'll bring in, I'll bring in my PNG file, which is my flower vase, which you guys know I always use for my manipulation. I just have to go to my file manager. I'll go to my file manager, go to where it's located. I'll search for it. I will search for it. So I'm going to look for it where it is. Okay, here is it over here. Just have to drag it to my Photoshop. Then I'll adjust it to whatever location I want it to be. So once I'm done with the size, I just have to click on my OK. But the issue I'm having right now, it's not reflecting perfectly. The reason is that it's directly below the newspaper backdrop I just bring, so the newspaper is covering it a little bit. So what I just need to do, I just have to drag it to the top. As you can see, it's perfectly placed. So that's all the step when it comes to the manipulation of this newspaper. The next thing is just for you to start with our color grading. As you all know, my first color grading step is for me to add a little bit of vintage to it. I have to click on my uppermost layer over here, click on it, then I'm going to click on my electrical marker tool, which I have over here. Then hold down my shift key, then I'll circle around my model, the major area there. So once I'm done, I just have to invert the selection by clicking on Ctrl Shift and I. It's going to invert selection for me. Then I'll go to my adjustment layer over here. Then I'll click on my solid color, wait for it to load up. Just have to feel it is 100% black. Then I'll click on the marks. Then I'm going to feather it up all the way up. I'll be using about 700 or so. Okay, 722 is okay for me. Then I'll click on my OK. Under the opacity, I'm going to bring it down to make it look real. As you can see, it's okay this way. So here's the before and after of the vintaging. So the next thing is for me to just add my color grading, which you all know I love using a lot in particular, which is my Mela chocolate. I just have to go to my adjustment layer, click on my color lookup, wait for it to load up, then click on load 3D LUTs. I'm going to scroll down where my LUTs are. Then I'm going to pick my Mela chocolate. Boom. Automatically it's going to give us a dark skin LUTs, which is quite perfect. So you can decide to add other color grading LUTs, and you can decide to leave your picture this way, which you have actually gotten a perfect result so far. So that's all about today's tutorial, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also turn on the notification icon. If you have any question, you can contact me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you're interested in getting any of my picture editing files, they are available on my store. You can actually go and get them there. See you guys on my next tutorial. One love.